Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Educated Crypto Trader. Now before we jump into the chart, I'd like to present my disclaimer. As always, please be aware I am not a financial advisor and I am not your financial advisor, nor am I anybody's. The information I give out in these videos is purely for information only and to get you to have an understanding and be able to dive a bit deeper into the chart to enable you to make an informed decision. And as always, you should do your own due diligence and make your own investigations before either entering or exiting a trade, or indeed whether to be actually in the trade itself in the first place. Okay, now that being said, let's jump into the charts. As you can see in front of you here, this is one of the charts I've presented in my other videos. If you haven't seen those, go back through them. It'll enlighten you into a lot of detail of what's happening with Bitcoin at present. So we're on Bitfinex at the moment. We're on a one-day chart, and as you can see, from us starting here in 213, 214, we've gone 1, 2, 3, and we're looking to try and complete 4 and 5 as our impulse and our primary wave. You can also see here, literally I'm going back over information what I've said in previous videos. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in green, which is the sub waves of wave 3 of our primary wave. Okay, so that brings us up into this area. So let's pull this chart out and have a better look at it. Here we go. Now, what you tend to do, or what you should be doing, is as a good technical analyst and an all-round trader, is to have your primary in place. Your primary, which is your wave that you see, which is the most likely you feel, and also have alternative counts, because the markets will do what they want to do, and you must go with what they're showing you. So you must be reactive and not predictive in any market. That being said, coming back to what I've been bringing to you the last few videos, stating that Bitcoin could possibly be bearish. From wave 5 of the intermediates, okay, which is then wave 3 of the primary, we have 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3. We then have 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, which has extended past the start of wave 8, which is the ending wave 5 of the intermediate. So that led me to believe at this particular point that we were looking at an expanded flat. So I was waiting then for the 5 wave count down. Now, looking at this in a little more detail, you can see that the waves up have been quite aggressive. So therefore we are in a strong bullish trend in the long term, that is, of course. But this wave up here down completed wave 3, so we're looking for the requisite correction to come into play, as Elliott's wave states. After 5 impulse waves up, there must be a requisite correction, and those corrections can come in many different forms: flats, zigzags, 3 3 3 3 3, which is an A B C D E patterns, triangles, leading triangles. The list just goes on. So it's down to the technical analyst to try and depict and understand what is actually playing out. And generally, until it gets to more or less the last wave, up or down, you could say it's one thing and it could turn out to be another. So again, remain flexible. That's the main thing. So coming back to what I was saying, I've been looking at an expanded flat. We have a 3 waves down, we have a 3 waves up, and now I was looking as the red 5 wave count down to this sort of area, 38,000, certainly hitting the 43 to 45,000 as it drops down through. Okay, so we've got that in mind. So that at this particular point is still in play. That is still my primary objective, how I see it and how I understand the market. Why? Because we still haven't broke this here at the top. Okay, and until we break that 61,800-ish, my primary count still remains bearish, but it's only bearish in the medium term. Long term, we are still very, very bullish. Right, why are we still bullish? We've completed our wave 5 here. We've dropped down to this one. We have another wave up, which has then gone over the top of wave 5, which states that it is still bullish. So until this here drops below this corrective wave down off of wave 5 from the intermediate, we still remain in a bullish scenario. That being said, when we tend to have 1, 2, 3 waves down, we tend to be looking at a rotation. Is that guaranteed? No, nothing is. Again, until you get generally to the 5th wave of any correction to really understand what is there right in front of you. So let's just go a little bit deeper into the chart. Excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down to an 8 hour, just so we can get a little bit of better understanding of what I've got in here. So my red waves that I'm looking at, 1, 2 and 3 that goes off the chart, is the 5 waves down that I've been looking at to give us the ending of our correction. The sub waves of these corrections you can see here, which is 2 degrees lower than the main waves up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, 1, 2, 3, which I've labelled A, B, C, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, which I've labelled in white. That is our correction of this leg, this push up here, okay? And then we've got a 1, 2, 3. Elliott wave again states that we're possibly going into a double 3 or a triple 3 correction, again, which can be multiples of flats, zigzags, triangles leading and ending, so on and so forth. So where are we then? What's happening with Bitcoin? Well, as stated, we have not broken this level at the top here, which is the 61,000, give or take 800. And until it does so, my sights still remain slightly bearish in the medium term. So we can move this from here to this point here. Again, like I say, it is not broken through the top here, which is our all-time high. So what do we have? Excuse me. We have a 1, 2, 3 scenario, which is the start then of our next corrective wave after the NE3, which I drew here in green, which is the ABC, which would be a 1, 2, 3 pattern. So we have technically, if we draw this in, we have a 1, 2 and a 3 wave down. I'll put that in black so it's a little bit more legible. Okay, and then from there we have a 1, 2 and a 3 wave up. So what are we expecting then? We're expecting this to be a flat once again, and once again this flat has gone higher than the top of this wave here, which would lead me to believe that it may well be another expanded flat. So what would we look for from there? Let's try and paint it in. So we might look for 1, 2, 3, 4, and the possibility of 5 coming down. So that's me looking at that as a bearish pattern, again to coincide with my formation of that going to the downside, so it's being bearish. Right, now let's delve a little bit deeper, because there's also another pattern in here which has been pointed out by Samuel. Hi to Samuel. And Federico, again, hi Federico. These have been highlighted by these two guys, and this was my alternate count, and it was one of my major alternate counts from this bearish pattern. So let's go into this one here, and let's just pull out to the daily, and let's have a look at this. Right, again, so where are we? So the top here, where wave B is our all-time high, 61,800 give or take. So our completion of our 5 waves up is here. So that would be wave 5. That would be wave 5 at the top here to complete. So then we're starting our correction. Now this correction could well be an ascending triangle, and you can see there's a lot of detail on here. I've put this in previously because obviously if I don't, this video is going to be extremely long, so I'm trying to keep these videos as short a time scale as possible, which helps you guys to digest the information. That being said, let's push a little deeper. So what do we have then on a daily chart? We have our 1, 2, 3 waves down, our 1, 2, 3 waves up. Now on a daily we have 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up, which would give us the start, or almost the end, shall I say, of an A, B, C, D, E pattern coming into play. Again, technical analyst must remain flexible to try and understand what's happening. As you well know, Bitcoin is extremely bullish. So this could push to the upside from around about the 55 to 56,000 marker as we're waiting for that final leg down. So I see you say, well, what are these red lines for? What's the white A, B, C, D, E pattern here for? Well, let's go in a little deeper. I'm going to drop to an 8 hour, just to show you the ending of this particular sequence. What we have here is a reverse triangle, okay, which is an expanding triangle. And what we have from this point is an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, B, 1, 2, 3, C, and we have a 1, 2, 3, D. What would we expect from here? If Elliott wave is correct and my counting is correct, we should see an E to the downside on a lower scale than this leg here, but both point down in the same direction, bearish, to this line coming up here, which is, if we just pull the chart up again, our right ascending triangle. So with all this information on board, it's now down to you to do your independent investigations and to decide whether you should be in, should be out, or even to be in any trade at all at this point, or whether you should be waiting. Time is usually the one that tells. But from what I can see at present and the information I've presented to you, we're looking that this should, if it completes the Elliott wave as I've counted it, come down to around about the $55,000 mark, $56,000 mark. Generally they push through, spike through, will give us a wick down, and come back in before they then start to go bullish. So that's my alternate bullish scenario, which may turn into my primary if it violates wave B on this triangle. I hope you've got some really good information from what I've presented this morning. I hope it really sort of gets you to think and before you make any decisions of getting in and out of the trades. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I tend to bring you more of this and in better detail over the videos that will come. If you have got some good information and you've been very happy with watching this, please consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. I'll endeavour to try and answer your comment as soon as I possibly can. So, until next time, bye for now.